What is going on, you beautiful people? It is Trelli here, and I am watching the live patch notes of Year 10, Season 10, whatever you want to call it, and we are looking at Surtr, the Fire Giant. If you don't know, the Fire Giant that has been in the game in Conquest for quite some time has been modeled after Surtr, and now there's going to be a new Fire Giant in Year 10, and this boy is going to be a playable character. I believe, from what I've heard, he's a warrior, but could have some magical damage mechanics. The audio on the stream's a bit buggy, so I'll be adjusting it for your ears, but let's jump into it. Let's see. I'm going to react to his abilities live. All I know is what you guys have seen. All I know is what has been shown.
Yeah. So we're gonna. It looks like we're just going right into it, checking out his abilities like we usually like to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time.
They do the thing. They're doing the thing. What the heck? I was gonna say they're gonna do the meteor thing. What the heck? Oh my god. I hate when they do this because it gets you so hyped, but also you have no clue what's going on. So again, the audio is really sketchy. This is so... He can go so far. Oh my god.
We saw the entire kit as it is. Let's break things piecemeal now.
All right, and yeah, I guess we'll start with the passive. So his passive's called Obsidian Flesh, and what's going on with the passive then?
I guess I can't turn it up.
So Surtr's flesh is made of obsidian, and basically when he loses enough health, you know, okay, well, I guess things to notice is that he is a warrior, right? He's a physical-based warrior. He has melee basic attacks, although with a little bit increased range. But when he does take enough damage by that passive,
it's just so bad. I guess the audio is just really low.
Yeah.
And Surtr himself can pick that back up to regenerate some of the health that was lost over time, as well as a protections buff. Thing to note as well is that enemies can actually step over those fragments to destroy them. So if you're versing a Surtr, just make sure when you're
I turn myself down so you guys can hear them louder.
You want to tread over those fragments.
It's a dancing lane.
It's a dancing lane, which is pretty cool. It's also his main form of self-sustain and regeneration. So you really want to deny him those if you can, and he really wants to pick those up. It's his own little mini game.
Yeah, and again, always an opportunity.
His skin
for
like falls
too,
off.
You know, you can try to predict,
and you can like pick it up to heal.
Just to stomp it out, I'm gonna take over and attack that, or on the reverse, he needs this sustain. He's gonna go for that. I have to take advantage of that. So
and going back a step as well, because we talked about the melee basic attacks. If Surtr, you can see Surtr has actually a 4-hit chain.
Yeah.
And if you look right there, the first hit is the standard, second and third hits are cleaves, and the fourth
second and third are cleave. Dude, I love when warriors have cleave auto attacks.
Unique there too. So standard, cleave, large, slow hit.
Awesome.
But yeah, let's move from the passive and the basic attacks to the first ability, Flames of Muspel.
Let's do it.
So Flames of Muspel is, you know, singular in purpose and what it does. It is a basic attack stim. We've seen a few of those before.
He spawns the boy.
Unique effects. In fact, it has quite a few interesting things going on. We can't just do things simply, right? No. So Surtr sets his sword ablaze, and when he next hits an enemy god, it deals bonus magical damage.
There it is.
He is a physical warrior. We talked about that before.
This is what I heard.
This is a little bit of a
physical warrior.
He is going to be dealing.
But when he
bonus
uses his
one,
damage. He empowers his sword, and it does bonus magical damage.
That's hitting you, it's going to set you aflame a little bit. So let's go back to that in a second. So he deals physical burn damage as well as a bonus magical damage proc. Also, you can see he's the Lord of Muspelheim. He's got to bring his fiery horde with him. That's what he does to break the Bifrost Bridge. So this ability actually spawns a fiery imp that will attack enemies for a short period of time.
And that's a throwback in itself too.
Exactly.
Kill those things?
We've seen Surtr in previous eras of Smite have some connection to those little fellas.
Yep, we wanted to kind of bring that idea back again. So one of the goals for our version of Surtr as a playable character was to make sure that we harken back a little bit to what he is like as an NPC, but we didn't want to just directly draw all inspiration from that. That's not very exciting.
Yeah, because this is his
respect. If he was just like the Fire Giant with like the knock-up attack and like the fire orbs, that'd be lame. I like what they did here.
So one final thing that this ability does, other than the fact that it's unique and does bonus magical damage, is it actually is a stacking mechanism. So if you kill when the debuff is on an enemy, that flame debuff, that damage, if that enemy dies while that flame damage is on them via yourself or from any other sources to make it a little bit easier to stack, you actually gain that bonus magical damage proc increases in damage every single time. So
it's like Cthulhu passive, how it adds up if you're able to get kills with the one, or if you put the one on someone and they die. Oh my goodness.
Obscenely small fragments of damage you're going to be increasing over time. So this is a long game. you can continue to empower your bonus magical damage proc because it doesn't scale. You can't buy magical items or anything like that. So the more you utilize
Okay, that makes sense.
Flames of Muspel to
You can't make
kill
it do
lane minions,
more
kill
because
jungle
you
minions,
can't
kill
build
enemy
magical
gods.
damage.
You can empower further uses of Flames of Muspel.
Yeah, and like you said, this works on anything really. So get those last hits, get that extra gold, and most importantly, get those stacks because you want to be hitting hard with that magic.
True, it's fuel for the fire. Awesome. Well, yeah, let's move on to the second ability then. Giant's Grasp.
So
Is this the
Surtr
pickup?
is the fire giant. What does he want to do? Well, he wants to pick things up and throw them around. So we want to do something a little bit unique here. So as you can see, he's kind of has a two-targeter mechanism. The first time he picks something up, if there is nothing around him, he will just grab a meteor from the earth itself and chuck it forward, stopping on the first enemy and stunning it.
Okay.
However, if there is a lane minion around, which we don't actually have spawned right now, he'll actually pick that up and it'll throw through all the different enemies and stopping on the first god hit. Now,
Because
if
you could just
spawn
yeet a minion in
fire
hit a god.
One, you can actually pick that up as well as the third option, which works very, very similar to the lane minions, except it stops the first enemy, stuns them, and does an AoE explosion. Now, note that damage from the throw and the explosion
Bro,
will
you
not
just
damage
pick
same
up the
target, but
minions,
you can do
throw
that
it through the
minion
wave, and
still
stun the dude you're
explode
laning against. This
bonus
dude seems
damage.
so sick for solo.
3 things you can pick up.
What's his
Either
3 do? I don't
nothing,
remember
which
it from
spawns
the...
a meteor,
Yeah.
a lane minion,
Oh,
an
was it like
enemy
the-
lane minion
there was a
specifically,
fire
and
circle.
not jungle minions. He's not that great in the jungle, but you can give him a try. And then finally his fiery imps from the AO1, and well, maybe from somewhere else too.
Ooh, all right. Super cool. Always love being able to just yeet things. So Emberwalk comes up next.
Yeah,
for ability
is this like his
3.
movement?
Yeah, so Emberwalk is kind of that like movement speed utility. Surtr expands a fiery ring around him of embers that provides him movement speed. If he hits enemies with it, it also deals damage and slows them, and it expands and contracts. So the expansion and the persistence of the ring deals damage once, the contraction does damage a second time. While that ring is active, if the enemies are within the actual like outer ring component itself, they will take ticking damage as well. But if they're inside the ring, inside kind of that donut shape, they won't take any damage from that persistent tick. They'll still take the expansion and contraction damage, but they're actually not going to be taking.
Okay,
the
so it's just movement
persistent
speed and a
damage.
slow?
That way, Surtr can kind of keep them in like that.
Is
that
it slow
sweet spot,
immune? I
which
guess
his
his
basic
ult
attack
is like
also
an
does reach, and he's
insane
got that
engage or
range. But you
disengage,
kind of
so
wanna
he
make
can't
sure
have
that,
a
like,
leap.
hey, you're kind of keeping people near
So
you,
it's just
or
like
you're trying to,
a
chase
speed
them
thing.
down with that movement speed buff and that movement speed slow that you're going to be hitting them with.
Yeah, great kiting mechanism. You want to keep them in the zone as you're, running after them, or they're.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Also,
Like I
the more
said,
enemies you
his
hit,
ult's such a
with
get out of
this,
jail
the more
free
movement
card.
Speed Surtr gets up to a small cap too, and that's enemies, not just enemy gods. So the more you're kind of doing this in team fights or in the wave, you're actually gaining more movement speed. And there's one last fun mechanism too, which is if there is a passive fragment out, Emberwalk will actually automatically pick that up.
Oh, that's cool.
So there we go. So if that's there, you can see that picking up
Oh,
from range.
nice.
Okay,
So
I
that
thought
way,
they were
if
gonna
it's
say
got
you
that
could
active in
teleport
team
to
fight,
it or
he's
some
getting
shit. I
snapped
was
a
like,
lot,
come on,
it'll
guys.
automatically kind of just
I don't think he needs that much. All right.
All right, so we've made it to the piece du resistant.
Yeah, there's one thing that we haven't seen yet that I'm kind of looking forward to here.
Oh yeah, we got an ult. End of days.
End of
Very
days.
apt.
We talked
for
about
the
it at the
bringing
beginning.
of Ragnarok. Like I want to see this. He turned into a meteor. I
That's
saw it.
that's what
happen.
happens. So after a short build-up, as we've seen with similar rooted CC immune
Oh
abilities,
my
Surtr
God.
surges
And it's a
into the air,
knock-up?
infusing into a large meteor.
And it spawns
While
the
he's in the air,
boys?
Surtr is actually immune to all damage and can choose where he comes crashing down. Kind of similar to like what we've seen with like Yufong's 3. So you can actually
Yeah.
kind of move as you're falling.
Oh my
now,
God.
before you actually fall to the ground, several mini meteorites split off. Dealing damage, kind of actually focusing enemy gods too. So if there's enemy gods nearby,
It's
it
like a
will hone
Baka
in on
ult.
them. The enemies can try and move out of the
It is a
way,
very
too.
big
Or choose
wind-up. Can you
randomized
go over
locations
walls?
if there's no enemy gods and no enemy minions. You can see there was one meteorite each that kind of targeted onto the zone.
I see, the meteors
And these
fall
meteorites
too.
do a little bit of damage and spawn those fiery imps that we also saw on Flames of Muspel. Now yourself, Surtr, you're the large meteor. If you come crashing down and hit an enemy, you'll actually deal extra damage and knock them out. So it's got a little bit of CC component as well.
He goes so far.
That is, I mean, that is an incredible ability to look at.
That is ridiculous.
I feel like every god that comes out has one thing about them, or one piece of their kit, or one part of their design that you look at and you say, I can't wait for skins to come out for this. I wanna see
Dude, you
what
just
that
get to
changes."
yeet the
And
minions.
For me, that's what it. I mean,
Yeah.
I need to know
skins
how
will be
far that
cool to
ult could
see
really
if they have
go.
a different look
Does
whenever
movement
skins
speed
come out in the
affect it?
future, but like,
Can it go over
I wanna
walls?
see what a skin meteor looks like, because that is just such an incredible, unique ultimate ability.
Oh my goodness.
That, I'm just excited to see this not only in play, but to also see what kind of beautiful ideas our amazing teams come up with to make that really shine, or shine even further in the future.
Yeah, there you go. So that is Surtr, the Fire Giant, the first god of Year 10 Season of Monsters.
There we go. I mean, I was hoping they'd answer
players
some of the
play.
questions I had.
Yeah, and I guess
But it looks like we're gonna have to just sit back. If you guys check the pinned comment, I'll let you know when the PTS comes up. Usually it's Friday. Today is Wednesday. If you're watching it the day it comes out, let me know if you're excited about Surtr. I sure as heck am. And yeah, I will definitely have some gameplay for you when this God full releases, when the PTS comes out in the next couple of days. If that changes, I'll let you know in the comment section below. Again, let me know if you're hyped. It's been Trelli, guys. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe. Peace.